Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, March 9th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. When you think of infrastructure, most people think roads and bridges, but it also includes water and sewer systems, which are critical to public health and safety. An engineering organization, along with industry experts, evaluated the nation's infrastructure and today released their 2017 report. Rochelle Metzger is in Laurel with the results.
That's right, the report card is in. U.S. infrastructure is practically flunking. The American Society of Civil Engineers today released its latest progress report, and U.S. infrastructure received a D+.
We haven't been investing and haven't been keeping up with our infrastructure as we should.
Meantime, one of the largest water and sewer utilities in the nation says aging drinking water systems are crumbling and desperately need funding for repairs.
Over the last month at the Piscataway wastewater treatment plant, we spent $1 million on one old pipe.
In Maryland, water and wastewater systems are failing, and according to the report, will require close to $17 billion in maintenance needs over the next 20 years.
It can't happen overnight. It's going to take some time to get that done and quite a bit of money, and I think WSSC is doing its part.
The issue of how to keep up with and pay for aging infrastructure is a national issue. It's also a local one.
We are investing nearly $2 billion over the next 6 years in our infrastructure.
Carla Reed heads the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, which serves 2 million people in Prince George's and Montgomery counties.
We need it for just our basic living. There's a lot of things in our society we can do without. Water and wastewater is not one of them.
She says replacing and repairing the unseen infrastructure is critical to both public safety and public health.
The most critical issue is that we have 11,000 miles of water and sewer main, and that water and sewer main, over a third of it is over 50 years old. So it's time to be replaced, renewed, upgrade.
In Laurel, the Patuxent Water Filtration Plant is undergoing a $64 million construction project.
It's going to allow us to increase capacity so we'll be able to make more water, treat more water to send out to our customers, and we're also enhancing the treatment process.
Now, officials say the construction project going on here at the filtration plant should be complete by spring 2018. In Laurel, Rochelle Metzger, back to you all in the studio.
And the American Society of Civil Engineers publishes its assessment every 4 years. While the D+ rating was unchanged from 2013, there were some improvements, including hazardous waste management, rail systems, and wastewater treatment.
Governor Larry Hogan announces a new high-tech program aimed at streamlining human services. Maryland Think is a cloud-based repository that will help different state agencies to communicate with each other. It would allow, for example, caseworkers to have access to information in the field.
With MD Think, we will have the ability to provide help to Marylanders where they are and when they need it through a holistic approach to care that cuts through the bureaucratic red tape. This system will have a transformational effect on the way our state government does business.
Now, the state has approved $14 million in funding. The feds have promised $200 million.
Prince George's State's Attorney Angela Alsobrooks testified on a child protection bill in Annapolis today. House Bill 1321, if passed, would require that certain officials report verbal threats of harm to children. It would also prohibit interference with the filing of a threat.
We had 6 children killed last year alone in Prince George's County, and we had a specific case the year prior to that where a mother, we believe, made a threat to authorities in a hospital setting that she intended to kill her children. And upon being released, she went home and did exactly that. And it was without any requirement under the law that those individuals would report that threat to law enforcement. So we want to really close the gap that says that if you make a threat and say that you intend to harm a child to either a health professional, an educator, then that has to be reported to the proper authorities.
And the proposed legislation is sponsored by Delegate Geraldine Valentino-Smith.
Slow but steady growth over the next year. That's how State Treasurer Nancy Kopp characterized Maryland's economic outlook. Kopp made the statement at today's Board of Revenue Estimates meeting in Annapolis. She says the numbers for 2017 are slow and down, and it's slightly, but adds that they are concerned about a federal hiring freeze and layoffs, which could have a huge impact on Maryland.
Our fellow citizens who are federal employees, but the corporations that do work for the federal government and then employ subcontractors, all the people who work for all those companies and the institutions like Johns Hopkins and the universities who then buy things to perform their work, or who take their take-home pay and go out for dinner or go in the community, whose children are in the community. It has a spiral effect across the whole economy, and so the uncertainty itself causes people to hold back.
COP says the state needs to grow non-governmental industries and diversify.